Wrestling fans, guys, Smackdown tonight. A decent show. Three major things really stuck out to me tonight. Three major things. The Intercontinental Championship, the Women's Championship, and the Women's Tag Team titles. If WWE hadn't been teasing Sasha Banks and Naomi coming back to the WWE, well, they definitely did tonight. Tonight, WWE announced that starting on Monday, they're going to be having a tournament to determine who is going to be the next WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And if that does not give us a sign that Sasha Banks and Naomi is coming back to the WWE, I don't know what does, wrestling fans. And I haven't been reading the rumors and reading all that stuff about Sasha Banks and Naomi coming back to the WWE and all that stuff. I know some of you have been, but wrestling fans, that is a huge sign that they are coming back to the WWE. Not saying that we really need the women's tag team titles in WWE. There's not enough really women on the roster that they really use on a regular basis yet. To have a women's tag team division. We shall see, wrestling fans, this coming Monday how they treat that. More on the women's division tonight with how they treated the number one contendership for Liv Morgan's Smackdown women's title in just a little bit. But wrestling fans, the women's tag team titles tournament will be beginning this coming Monday on Raw, wrestling fans. Quite frankly, I think it's a good way to determine the new champions, even though if Sasha Banks and Naomi are coming back to the WWE, I do believe we all know right now who's going to be the new SmackDown, or excuse me, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And it's going to be who left WWE with those coveted titles, Sasha Banks and Naomi. Wrestling fans, we shall see how that all plays out on Monday. The Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental title, and guys, I think Gunther, or however they say his name on SmackDown, Gunther or Walter, or however they're pronouncing it, he's going to defend his IC strap against Shinsuke Nakamura next week on SmackDown. Look, Triple H is in charge of creative, and I think he's doing a much better job. He's handling the creative much better as of late, giving us a lot of things that we are enjoying. It's feeling a lot different than what we have been seeing as of late, but what we're seeing next week in WWE has "I love you" and Vince McMahon written all over it. Because not only are we seeing the United States Championship on the line, which I'm telling you, I did enjoy how they treated that last week on Monday Night Raw, showcasing the United States Championship. I will admit that. I came on here and admitted that, but I was wanting WWE to push that to Clash at the Castle. I don't care if it's not in the United States, which is probably one thing WWE was thinking. But, wrestling fans, this has WWE, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love written all over it, guys. Because we're seeing one but two championship matches in 1 week. One on Raw, one on Smackdown. Some of you might say, hey, it's not the first time we've seen this. It's not the first time we've seen this. It is unusual in WWE. As a matter of fact, we used to see this regularly. Webby, why are you sitting here moaning, groaning, harping, complaining? Guys, let me tell you right now, WWE next week is having their 2 mid-card titles on the line on Raw and SmackDown. They could have pushed Nakamura and Gunther to Clash at the Castle. And if they still plan on doing that, why do you have to advertise this crap as a title match next week? Why? It makes absolutely no sense. It's the only thing, this is the major thing that I really have a complaint about. I really don't like it when they do this crap. It loses a lot of speciality of championship matches, of title matches on television, on weekly television, when we see it week in and week out. I hate it when WWE does this because we see it all the time. You know, back in the early, mid-2000s and the 90s, and I'm not trying to compare WWE to back then, but you know, back then, I mean, even in the 2010s, did we see it every single week? Of course not. We didn't whatsoever. And you know what? It made the title defenses feel more special. We couldn't wait to tune in to them. Now, when they announce it, it's kind of like, okay, it's still an average Monday Night Raw. Do we really still have a reason to tune in to SmackDown? No, not really. We're seeing it every week, Bruce Pritchard. We're seeing it every week, Triple H. Time to change that a little bit, okay? You want to change something about the show outside of the good things that you've been changing here or there? That is one of them. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. Or am I sitting here ranting about something that I don't need to be ranting about? All right, wrestling fans. The women's championship matchup at Clash at the Castle. I'm going to be honest with you. I am 100% in agreement in the way that they pushed this tonight. We're not having Charlotte Flair. We're not having Ronda Rousey. We're not having some other person, you know, some random mojo that's going to go in there and rip Liv Morgan to shreds. We're not having someone like that, you know, unless WWE pulls some card where Ronda Rousey comes out and tears, everybody in sight, the entire women's division in sight, then it promises to be a good matchup at Clash at the Castle. Promises to be a good contest. And I get what they're doing. Another submission machine in Shayna Baszler. Excuse me. Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan. Of course, Liv Morgan is going to win, but it's more of a believable matchup. And I liked what they did here. They didn't have Charlotte Flair come out and replace somebody at the very end or replace somebody at the middle. They didn't have someone else come out. Listen, I'm glad. Give Liv Morgan, even though we saw this crap at SummerSlam where Ronda Rousey's shoulders was 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring, and Liv Morgan did tap out during the 1, 2, 3. Give her a extended title reign. Okay, so I'm glad about that. Yes, we all know what's going to happen. We all know that this isn't going to last through the end of the year and that kind of stuff. But I'm glad that they're letting this stretch out for a little bit. Now, outside of that, I like what Triple H did with this as far as letting it decide in a gauntlet matchup. Could they have let the gauntlet matchup stretch a little bit? Of course they could have. They could have let the gauntlet match, as far as letting the women actually go out there and wrestle. Because Aaliyah, how long was she in there? What? 30 seconds? A minute? I mean, come on. Ridiculous. But I get it. I really do. You showcase the ones that are more believable. I mean, seriously, are more believable. Look, I'm happy with the outcome. I'm just going to say that. Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan at Clash at the Castle, which, by all means, Liv Morgan will go over victorious. Either that or Ronda Rousey will come back and tear the house down and rip both of them to shreds. One of those two things will happen. And outside of that, not too much happened. WWE absolutely made the Viking Raiders look like a bunch of fools out there when they had Kofi Kingston go out and beat him up with a kendo stick, and then had Kofi Kingston win in singles competition. So the Viking Raiders, who are supposed to be mean and vicious and all this crap, and they're supposed to be new and all this crap, got flushed down the toilet by Kofi Kingston, all by himself. Ridiculous. You'll remember to subscribe to the channel as well before I continue on with this review of Smackdown. But wrestling fans, let me tell you, WWE, with this with this fallout show of Smackdown of SummerSlam, Karrion Kross, he's returned. I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty happy about that. Karrion Kross returning to WWE. New look. He doesn't have the old look of Demolition on. I am definitely happy about that. That he looks normal now. To be honest, and he has his eyes set on Roman Reigns. I don't know if I would have done that, quite frankly, because Roman Reigns, that title isn't going anywhere off of him except to Drew McIntyre. Or, and I mean this wholeheartedly, some of you don't think that the title is going to go to Mr. Money in the Bank. But believe me, believe me, if it's not going to Drew McIntyre, it definitely will go to Theory. I assure you of that. It's going to go to one of those two at Clash of the Castle, because I cannot see Roman Reigns holding that strap, holding the titles through Clash at the Castle. I can't see him doing it. I could be wrong, but I can't see him holding the title through Clash at the Castle and then holding it till WrestleMania. Because we all know that after Clash at the Castle, he's going to end up taking a major break. He'll be gone till WrestleMania or until the Survivor Series, because he'll have to come back for that Raw versus Smackdown thing. And then he'll be gone till WrestleMania. Something like that. So listen. Roman Reigns is dropping that title sooner rather than later. And I'm predicting that right now. This is not the first time you've heard me say this. Okay? It was this close for him to drop that title. For him to drop it at SummerSlam. WWE doesn't do that and then don't follow up on it sooner rather than later down the road. Wrestling fans, let me tell you, for everybody that is Roman Reigns joy juicers who think, and I have some friends that are on this boat, who think that you are part of the ones, when really you are part of the twos. Oh boy. You are going to be disappointed when the tribal chief gets knocked down off the top of the food chain. When he gets knocked down off that table. When he gets thrown off his private island. And he loses the WWE Universal Championship. I'm getting out of here. Wrestling fans, y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel today. Hit that bell button. And of course, until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.